Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, April 11th, after the Celtics win over the Charlotte Hornets, second to last game of the season, first of two against the Hornets, 130-94 victory for Boston in Boston. Good games for Pritchard and Hauser off the bench. In limited minutes, too. They only played 21 and 22 minutes, but they scored 22 and 20 points. Starters played outside of Jalen. Jalen did not play in this game. Will not reach the 65 game minimum. So I guess he was telling the truth that he didn't actually care about the awards, and there was just other wants to get right practice stuff while injured reasons for it. I mean, that's what I said. That's still my theory, so I'm going to stand by it because it's the only thing that really makes sense to me. But fine all around game. I wouldn't use the word fun because the Hornets are terrible, but
Butt ass.
fun. Butt ass indeed. Yeah. Big Celtics win, so I suppose that's what's important. What is fun is the Grizzlies Denver game going on right now. That does matter. That
got
is
it.
a 3-point
Got it
game
right
heading
here.
into the fourth. So, but anyways, we're talking Celtics, Hornets, and Celtics got to win.
Celtics got to win. Celtics got win number 60. It's sick. I was rooting for it heavily. I actually kind of cared if they won this game when they were fucking around. I wasn't like mad, but I was like, damn, they're really going to have to try and get win number 60 on Sunday if they don't win this tonight. Then the second half, they allowed, 41 total points? Pretty good. Granted, Charlotte, not good. Not a good team. To have to take the defense with a grain of salt. But the Celtics exploded for 76 points in the second half. So it was a whomping after the break. Porzingis did not play in the second half. Everybody and their mother on the internet had a panic attack. They're like, where is he? I was in the playback with Jake Eisenberg at first the floor. It was like, where's Porzingis? Where's Porzingis? Bobby Manning had the best post about this. He was like, Porzingis is not on the bench, but typically the PR team will give us an injury update if anything happened. No, nothing about Porzingis. He's probably fucking fine. So if you guys are all worried about Porzingis, you came here. We're here to tell you he's all right. Probably just took a break.
Heard about it after the game too. John Gralis opened the press conference with Porzingis wasn't there. How is he? And Joe Mazzulla gave him that he's perfectly fine.
Well, yeah. Porzingis. Joe Mazzulla could have been the coach for the Gordon Hayward game. He would have said he's perfectly fine.
No. There's a difference when someone's actually hurting Joe's talk. He's I talked to him. We'll see how he's doing, and we'll figure it out from there. Joe Mazzulla, he knew what the first question was going to be, and he's like, he's fine. He's like, we're not doing this. He's fine. Crosser's like, all right. Okay. So KP is fine. I get why people were worried. I texted you. It was like, the chat and playback needs to be logical, but on second look, I was talking to Noah about it. It makes sense, right? The guy with an injury history doesn't show up for a second half. I understand. The part that I disagree with and think is silly is people jump right from, oh, look, he's playing perfectly fine, just closed out the first half, to, oh my God, he, broke his skull open. He's never going to play basketball again. He's got to have some middle ground. There can be a reasonable concern of I wonder if he tweaks something, that it doesn't just jump to, oh my God, the Celtics are fucked now. Right, there's got to be a middle ground. So I probably could have had a little bit more of an opening to, I wonder if something's wrong, but I don't know.
You were no bullshit on that one. You were
nothing about it felt. Nothing about it felt like he was hurt. It just felt like he watched the second half. You know what I'm saying? There was no indicator, so I just didn't even think about it, I guess. And
if there was ever a game for everyone to be like, hey, Porzingis isn't going to play in the second half, this would probably be it. There's no reason to put him out there. It was good to see the starters get some reps together in the first half and just try and, well, I guess minus Jalen, but still 5 of the top 6 playing ball together and trying to get their footing together before the playoffs. Mazzulla was clearly using as much of this as he could to be a tune-up. He was playing a short rotation for a lot of this game until the fourth quarter. It was very preseason-like because you didn't see anybody of note. Well, any main rotation guys in the fourth quarter other than Pritchard and Hauser. You got a nice little stretch there with the bench. It was pretty cool. But, yeah, the bench was really the story today. Pritchard and Hauser combined for 42 points. They both go berserk shooting the ball. Pritchard 9 of 11. Hauser 7 of 12. The boys are heating up. It's what you like to see. Let's see how they do Sunday when they're the only ones playing again, and they actually have the full attention of Charlotte's menacing defense.
Menacing defense is quite the phrase. It's quite the way to phrase that. What a game, man. Yeah, shout out. I mean, Celtics got the job done. That is like, there's nothing else I think to over analyze in that sense. I don't know. Like, do we want to go individual player by player? Like, do we want to talk about everybody and see how they did? Was anybody who stood out that you want to start with that you think? I mean, Joe Mazzulla loved the Torrey Craig game, so if we want to start with Torrey Craig, we can. We can do Derrick. Like, where do you want to start? What did you see as this was the best part of this game? And whatever you say, keep in mind, whatever you say right now, I'm going to put on the thumbnail. So give me a real answer.
Honestly, basketball-wise, I thought Horford was really good in this game.
Al Horford thumbnail. Free. Okay.
Double-double in 28 minutes, 50% from the field, 50% from three. He was really, really impactful in his minutes in the first half. Didn't want to see him play a ton of minutes. Horford is... It's really hard to pick out like who the most important guy is going to be in the playoffs. Horford has to be towards the top. He's a game changer. He's an X factor. If you have a Horford game like this in a playoff game, it's very tough to imagine that you will lose that playoff game, especially considering the rest of the talent on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing an outing like this from him, I love when he like pops up like a whack-a-mole, like reminding everybody, hey, I still got some in the tank. It's the best kind of game. So
what are you thinking of the Mark Williams block? That's exactly what I was going to go with first.
No, you go ahead.
No, I know. Hello? Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. I was just using it as like a metaphor.
No, I was asking you, like, is that what you were just about to talk? Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about like literally pops up because he got Mark Williams on it, and I wrote it down in my video ideas thing. I was like, holy shit, Al Horford still got it. Like he like jumped up.
First play of the game.
I know, dude.
Right?
I don't know what it was. It was Mark Williams was driving for a layup or a dunk, and Al Horford got him from behind. It was like, oh shit, Al still got it. Like, listen, man. Every year we come on here and we're like, is Al Horford going to retire? How long does Al have left? And every year Al Horford is just this incredible multi-tooled center. Like, I truly think if you built a center in the lab and said, what is the best possible player to play with this lineup of Tatum, Brown, and space the floor, play defense, like, I don't think you could pick a better player. And that's without even considering like the off the court leadership. And we talk about Al Horford all the time, right? There's no avoiding it. And it's a good thing because he's just that good. And you have the stuff from after the Florida National Championship where he was like, you know, maybe I'll play against him in the league next year. 3 chops now. You see Kral's tweet? Kral's and him were talking in the locker room and they're like, are you going to adjust it? And Kral said you should add a 3rd chop because it's now 3 natties. And so he does 3 chops now. He did it before the game. And Kral's tweeted about it. But he was talking about Walter Clayton and he was like, you know, hopefully I think I'll get to play against him in the league next year, or maybe he'll be with us. So not only did he basically say he's coming back, but he also said with us, which is insinuating that he'll be back with Boston. So it sounds like Al Horford's going to be back here. And every turn,
I didn't even think
every
of
game.
That. I keep forgetting that he's like a free agent because he doesn't feel like a real like he feels like he's going to be under team control. Yeah,
Haslam. He feels like Haslam. No man, double.
Don't
like
disrespect the man like that. Haslam.
Don't disrespect Haslam like that, man. Don't disrespect Haslam. Listen, man, if we're talking about purely the idea of staying with the team for a long time, Udonis Haslam deserves respect.
Oh, that is respect. I'm talking about player-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Ability.
Okay, sure.
I was like, please don't.
I'm purely talking about it from the aspect of being connected to a team.
Loyalty?
For a long period of time.
Sure.
Loyalty. Indeed. Because Udonis Haslam's the GOAT of loyalty, or one of them. But regardless, like you said, Al Horford, big game in this one, double-double. The defense stood out to me. The 3-point shooting was great. He had a couple of the post-ups. He's been mixing more of the post-ups lately, which has been so fun to watch in like the second half of the season. So shout out Al Horford. He absolutely deserves it. And shout out Prize Picks, which is the best place to get real money sports action this basketball season. We did not win the Prize Picks that we did on our pregame show. We do a pregame show every time. Drew Holiday did not hit the 3 that we needed him to. However, I think that means we pushed, so we don't have to add a loss to the stat sheet. However, I do need to tell you guys about Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money sports action. Sam and I do it every single pregame show. It's a fun time. On top of that, it is super easy. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player props for the chance to win up to 1,000x your money. It's available in over 30 states, Florida, Georgia, right here in Massachusetts. Baseball season starting up, so if you want to pick strikeouts, you want to pick anything of the sort, RBIs, you can pick that, but you can also combine sports. So basketball season, as it enters the playoffs, you can pick a basketball prop or player, and you can pick a baseball player, and you can pick 2 different stats, and you can pick more or less on those and combine them from 2 different sports. It truly is the best place for you to get real money sports action this season. So, with that in mind, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize picks will run your game. But shout out to Horford. Shout out to the fact that I'll probably be back. And shout out to Noah's story about Horford going to Florida to watch the national championship, because apparently after she talked to him in the locker room, he said, like, Joe made me go. Joe said, this is important. This is awesome. Like, you need to go. He basically said, Al Horford, like, go to this. It is okay. Go to this fucking game. This is sick. So shout out to Joe for being the ultimate homie, which is not a side of him we get to see. But from everything we hear about from the players and from Horford in this story and everything, it is like, he is truly like a very, like, if there's one thing you'll never be short with Joe, it is perspective. And the perspective of, you don't need to be at these 2 useless games. You can go watch your team win a national championship is a very cool thing. And so shout out to Joe, shout out to Al.
Yeah, it is like really good coach morale.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like if you have a regular job and you're a manager or something, like take note. Maybe somebody like on your staff like is really interested in, I mean, let's say they're a big Celtics fan and they want to go to a playoff game, but they don't want to have to take the day out of work the next day because, you know, they're afraid they're going to miss it. Encourage them. Be like, you can sleep in. It's all right. It's going to be a fun night. Enjoy a game. Playoffs will start later because that's just how they do us all on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should all be more like Joe Mazzulla.
Diving back into here, we can talk a little bit more about Pritchard and Hauser. They combined to shoot 10 of 14 from 3 in this game. Pritchard was 4-5. Hauser was 6-9. Pritchard was 9-11 for the field. Hauser was 7-12. 22 3-3 for Pritchard. 25-1 for Hauser. I know he only had 1 offensive rebound, but Hauser's rebounding continues to impress me. He's been great. They were screening for each other off the ball a lot too. I asked Joe and Tatum about like having guys who can shoot the ball, and Derrick deserves credit in this retrospect too, of like have so much gravity as a 3-point shooter, like off the ball, that they can sort of use that and translate it into, Hauser is seeing guys guard him so heavily so he can crash more effectively for offensive rebounds, or they know their guy has to follow them to the 3-point line. So if Pritchard screens for Hauser, he can go out to the corner, then his guy has to follow him, which gives Hauser more space to run out. Like the way they're using their individual 3-point gravity in other ways, I think is super fascinating. You're seeing it more down the stretch, but the fact that they are able to shoot this well from 3 is a blessing for the Celtics, because they're the 8th and 9th men off the bench, depending on where you place Cornette and Horford. So it's truly, well, Pritchard's 6, but you know what I'm saying. It's crazy that they have this depth.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want somebody to knock down 1 billion threes against a bad team, look no further. All you can do is think back to the Wizards game last year, where he's on pace, set the record, and then he rolls his ankle. Then you have this game where he's going berserk. I thought he had way more threes than he did. Felt like every time he shot it, it went in. He was incredible tonight. And going into the playoffs, you need not only him, but Peyton Pritchard to be able to get going. Because as much as Al Horford is a very X-factor type player, the role players are the ones that elevate a team in the playoffs. The reason why somebody like LeBron is talked about so highly, one of the reasons, is because he's a make the guys around him better guy. And that's so important to playoff success. It takes pressure off the stars. And when these guys have it going, you're going to win more games. So hopefully they keep it going against Charlotte again on Sunday. Big spot. Again, going to have more attention from the, menacing defense of the Hornets. Got to take advantage. Be better than the Orlando game.
Be better. It's a low bar, but hopefully they can jump on over it. Tatum was fine. Did not shoot well. Maybe he wasn't fine. He kind of was not very good in this game shooting the ball. He had 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
He did it for the city. 617.
617. Damn right. It's always hard for me to talk about Tatum games like this, because like it's so easy to say, yeah, he was bad, he shot poorly, but he has 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Like he's doing so much more than that. But not a great Tatum game. Not a like bad Tatum game. I think a bad Tatum game would be like not rebounding very well, or the assists aren't there. But then even if the assists aren't there, maybe his teammates are making it's just getting harder and harder to break down individual Tatum games outside of bad shot selection, which Sure. Part of that game, this one, sure. If you want to call it that, you can call it that. I thought he was taking okay shots, stepping into some. I thought he was doing like they ran some plays where it was Luke Cornett screening for Tatum off the ball and he stepped in. So it wasn't great in this game. He got frustrated with the refs. The shots wasn't there. The scoring wasn't there, but he's still he had a team high plus 23 in 31 minutes, which is a lot for just 3 quarters, but was whatever. This was a whatever Tatum game. It was a whatever Kristaps game, who was ass 2 of 11, 2 of 7. It was a whatever Drew game, who was ass shooting the ball. It was a good Derrick game, who had 19 and 7 and 4 blocks. Derrick, by the way, who only sat a minute and 40 or a minute and 55 seconds in the first 3 quarters because he played 34:05 in this game and didn't play in the fourth. So he just ran them till the well ran dry. But I don't know how much you can actually take away from the starting unit in this game in terms of good or bad. It was just let's go out there and do whatever happens. And Tatum, Drew, Derrick, or KP didn't shoot very well, and Derrick did and was sick blocking shots.
Yeah, and him and Tatum dressed like each other. We were in the playback, and Jake goes, "Is he wearing the Tatum armband?" And I was like, "Wait a minute." And it's the gif of Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover, just like seeing all the math equations when he's trying to count cards. That was me figuring out that they did the thing where they dressed up as each other.
Tatum talked about it post game too.
It worked for Derrick. You should have been like, "Hey,
yeah."
Didn't really work for Tatum. Wasn't the greatest Tatum game, but listen, I think it's kind of shameful that it took us 18 minutes to talk about Derrick. That was my debated him versus Horford for who I wanted you to make the video title of. And I picked Horford just because I remember being super excited about it. But Derrick blocking shots today was awesome. Even better that Richard White was in the building. Nobody gets more excited for the blocks than Mr. White does. Had the video of them two on CLNS walking through the tunnel as they showed up today. So Derrick is always super fun to watch when he's playing well. They're just so deep. Like all these guys, you could just be like, "Oh, they're going to show up in the playoffs. It's going to be awesome," and you get super excited. Yeah.
As my friend Danny would say when we go out to a bar, we got guys. Celtics, they got guys.
We got guys.
I do need to tell everybody about Game Time, though. It's the best place for all your ticketing needs this basketball season as it wraps up and heads into the playoffs this baseball season. But they also do concerts. They do comedy shows. They do live events. Anything that you can buy a ticket for, Game Time has got your back. Let me pull up Game Time so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'll go into the first events here. I think we've looked at Monster Jam before, even though that would be pretty funny. Let's take a look at who do we take a look at? Mary J. Blige. We were just talking about this in the press room because it's going to be the final concert at TD Garden before the playoffs start. But since this is a concert at TD Garden, Game Time recognizes this, and you can see exactly what your seat will look like for that type of event. So you see the seat up here for $67 that says great deal on it. You can see exactly what the stage will look like from that view. You see this one right here that's highlighted. That's the super deal. That means these tickets are in the top 1% for this event based on value. So that's great value. And then this fire emblem back here tells you it's the cheapest price in the venue. And, you can still understand where you're going to be sitting. You can also toggle on and off the function of showing fees, so you know exactly what you're going to pay without any surprise fees at checkout, so you know what you're paying in real time, not at the very end of the process. On top of that, Game Time comes with a bunch of other cool features, like Game Time Picks. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference, as well as Game Time ticket coverage, which means your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. All right, back to the Celtics. Luke Cornett only played 17 minutes, but plus 19, 8 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 of them on the offensive end. Tatum talked about the pick and roll. Bobby K asked him about it. Bobby Ritchie, shout out, friend of the program, obviously, and said the leap Luke has taken was incredible. He's just talked about like his chemistry. He talked about how great it was. So go read what I assume Bobby will be tweeting out or writing about as well, and go check out the presser. But it is truly like getting to the point, and I said this a million times already. I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it. you have to re-sign Luke Cornett. You have to. It is no longer, it would be nice. It is no longer like, let's see if they can afford it. It is, you have to. He's that good, and that's going to be the biggest problem of the summer behind the who are they going to trade to get under the second apron.
I would like to see Luke Cornett stop trying to shoot push shots with his left hand from the free throw line. He is somebody who has a jump shot. Just take a fucking jump shot. It was one of the ugliest looks we had the whole game. Watching it on playback, Jake and I were like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? He did it on Wednesday against the Magic, too. Bad trend. Stop it. Get some help.
His jumper is not very pretty either.
That's all right.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. His debut for the Celtics. Clutch shooter hero.
He brings it here and then flicks it off his arm. Like that viral video of the guy that went around recently.
The motor function of a 7-footer is what it is. Unless you're Porzingis.
Torrey Craig was sick in this game. 1 of 2 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. His kid also ran onto the court after he had a big play, and Joe Mazzulla was asked about it after the game, and he eventually gave this really sweet answer of like, it's one of my favorite things, like seeing how great it is having the families in the locker room and on the bench, and it's been a really cool thing with Deuce, with Ian, with Torrey Craig's son, Braylon, I think is his name. I'm gonna fact check myself after I talk, but
I believe so. That's what Cam had tweeted.
But when Joe Mazzulla was asked about it, he's like, you see, that celebration, and immediately Joe just goes, yeah, you mean when he almost cost us transition 3? It's just like, Jesus Christ, bro. But shout out Torrey Craig he's good, man. As soon as somebody started asking about Torrey Craig, I forget who it was, it might have been Cam. Joe was just like, yeah, I fucking love that guy. Or, yeah, I love that guy. He's great. So shout out.
Torrey Craig's first moment in this game was picking up. It was at the beginning of the fourth quarter because he hadn't played the entire night. And he picks up KJ Simpson full court. And I think he knocked the ball off of him and the Celtics got possession. Like, the Celtics at this time, let's see, they were up 1 at half and then they won the third quarter by 15. So they were up 16 points. And Torrey Craig is like full court pressure, Mr. 94 feet, let's go. Just hilarious. Like, if I was in this game on the Hornets, I actually would be so fucking annoyed. Like, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. Just comes out, Craig. Just hounds him right away. But yeah, he was fun to watch. And, Craig has been a really interesting addition to the Celtics because he does bring a little bit of like a dog mentality. He's going to fight when he's on the floor. He's physical.
Yeah.
He had that really impressive game against Washington. He had 8 rebounds in his short minutes, 4 offensive, 4 defensive. Like, he's willing to get down and dirty and do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's why Mazzulla likes him so much. He's probably not going to see minutes in the playoffs, but he's someone to have on the bench, and he'll do the bench celebrations.
Yep. A lot of talk about the O'Shea minutes. It's funny that's like the one tangible talking point about the playoffs. It's a question mark. But shout out to Craig, elite bench guy, like you said. The celebrations are great. He's fun. He's real fun. Anybody else in this game that we didn't talk about? Shireman was fine. 2 of 3, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Nemi, 3 blocks. Flowers.
You guys don't want to listen to me talk about Nemi.
Just trying to set you up to piss people off. Don't talk about him. It doesn't matter.
I don't think people get mad anymore. Rui doesn't like it. He's just not very good. That's okay, right? Like, it's fine. Like, it's not like I'm gonna rip the guy. It's just he can't stay in position defensively. Like, he just can't. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, he's not like those 3 blocks were offset by 3 times that he jumped or was in the wrong position and gave up a layup. Like, it's just. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But Shireman was fine. Peterson was fine. JD Davison had super cool dunk. Super cool JD Davison dunk. And I think that just might about wrap it up.
So I'm not going to be on the show tomorrow. We now know who the Celtics are going to play, or the 2 teams that they could play.
One of the 2
in round 1. It's either going to be Orlando or Atlanta. The 7-8 game is set. Actually, all of the Eastern Conference postseason season.
All of the East is set. It is Cleveland, Boston, New York, Indy, Milwaukee, Orlando, Atlanta, Chicago, Miami, correct?
Yes.
So that means we're definitely getting a New York, Detroit, and definitely getting a Milwaukee, Indy. Milwaukee, Indy is fucking fire. Those are two awesome playoff series. I think the Pistons have a real fighting chance against the Knicks. I don't think they'll win this series, but I think they have a fighting chance.
Happy to be here.
I think Indy is going to beat the shit out of Doc Rivers' Bucks. And I think Cleveland and Boston are going to do what Cleveland and Boston are going to do to those teams. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to get ignorant. But unless I should I?
Go for it. It's late. It's 11:15.
So I'll say this very quietly for the 7 people who are still listening. This Cleveland team eerily reminds me of the 60 whatever win Suns team that was fraudulent a few years ago. I don't know.
Oh, really? You're just saying, you're thinking now in April that it's fraudulent?
I've said this all year. I did a whole TikTok on how the Cavs are not the biggest threat to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. They did a whole thing.
They're not. They're not scary.
I don't think the Hawks or the Bulls could beat them in a 7-game series. Do I think they could get a game or two?
Oh, it'd be so funny
Maybe.
if the Cavs lost in the first round after all this.
Do I think the Cavs are going to lose in round 2?
They could lose in round 2.
I don't know, man. I'm half talking shit, but Bucks or Pacers. If I'm the Cavs, I would have rather seen the Knicks or the Pistons in the second round, and neither of those teams. So, regardless,
The Knicks, by the way, 0-10 against good teams now.
Knicks are not good. Knicks are bad. Knicks are a bad team. They're not
It's a
good at
real
basketball. Listen, not to monologue at 11:15 about the Knicks. The problem with the Knicks is not the talent. They have a very objectively talented team. Like every individual piece on that team is great. Collectively, they are so flawed because their 2 best offensive players are not good defenders, and then their defensive players are not good offensive players. And so if you're putting all of those pieces on the floor at one time, you're going to have issues. You're going to have Brunson and Cat being put in the pick and roll and beaten down. What you need for them to be is role players with great defenders next to them, and they have that, but then those great defenders next to them are liabilities in offense. So it's a vicious cycle of, oh, you're shit, you're fucked on this end. Oh shit, then you're fucked on the other end too. You can't have both. You can't have both. You need to either double down on offense or double down on defense, and they have found the perfect horrendous middle ground of nothingness. So shout out the Knicks. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. Enjoy New York, Anton Watson. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I will let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of 60 wins. Jack's spinning in the chair. I actually love that. You can also subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every single day, pumping out new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps like this one are here the morning after each game. We have other videos on the channel to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the 2 of us streaming live for a half hour before each pregame. It's a ton of fun. Come hang out. The chat's awesome. We do our prize picks. You can watch us play some GeoGuessr. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want the audio stuff, it goes right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. And tell your friends. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do a full pod. So get them in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is JackSMoneNBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.